In essence, uh, I think if you're looking for a part-time job or to have a few months of different experience, the opportunities are here for this kind of thing. And certainly if you're looking for to test the waters as the maritime industry as a profession, you can get your time and licenses out here for these boats, which is they don't call them tickets for nothing. The more paper you have, the greater salaries you make, and the greater the opportunities are. But it's not a magic formula. For example, if your desire is to get a captain's license and be a charter boat captain, or work on a cruise ship, or captain a yacht, or whatever, you have to work at it like any other career. You have to pursue it. Things aren't going to happen by magic. You come out here and then you can expect in a few months you're captaining a very big famous yacht, which I have done. But you have to work at it. The sea schools are very current. There's Houston Marine and Sea School. They're very current on the amount of days it takes. I don't know what everyone's process is, but for me it was 720 days at sea for the 100-ton license, and you had to have tonnage on that appropriate tonnage to be able to get this license. I think you had to put 90 days on a 100-ton vessel to be able to get a 100-ton license. But out here the days are counted as 12-hour days, which is time and a half. So you can figure your regular 8-hour days working for an 8-hour-a-day company, for example deep sea fishing, versus out here you get 12-hour days. So this is time and a half towards your sea time. So you can figure out that 720 days, if you're working time and a half, it wouldn't take very long to put the effort into getting this license. Like any other industrial type of job, there's of course inherent dangers, and most of the accidents out here are caused by negligence of the personnel that works out here, not following safety rules or not using their head or looking ahead at what's going to happen. But anytime you get big equipment like these ships around, big cranes and oil rigs, there's definitely some danger there. But it's no more dangerous than any other occupation, whether you're a lifeguard or whether you're a race car driving crew or whatever. It's about, in my estimation, the same risk if you know what you're doing and if you're careful, and if you follow the safety guidelines, you'll be all right. There's crew boats, which are they have the big passenger compartment. They're the aluminum faster ships that carry the passengers and smaller loads out to the rigs. They can get in and out very quickly. Some of these boats they're designing are going 20 knots or more, and these are very quick boats. Then the utility boats, they carry a little larger cargo, and they have tank capacity, water, and fuel pumping capacity, which is important, of course, to the rigs and the platforms. But these cargo boats, they're the biggest in the boats that are leased out to these companies. These range close to 200 feet in length, some of them. So in essence, the crew boats are in the 100 to 120 foot range. Some companies are coming out with these giant crew boats that are fast, and actually they're they're building them 140 feet, some of them. The utility boats are slower boats, heavier boats. They don't probably bounce as much, you're not going as fast, but they're roughly the same size as the crew boat. But these supply boats, or cargo boats as they call them, they're the biggest out here. And they have the job of tying up to the rig and you know, pumping them all the lubricants and the water and fuel, and can carry quite a bit of cargo, which I'm sure on you'll see on this video some of the deck capacities of these boats. Florida is big for yachting. Of course, Fort Lauderdale is the world center for yachting, if you would. But Texas and Louisiana have the oil industry. So, you know, for me, it's been you have to learn, you know, the style of work for these different types of boats. And I specialize in the oil field jobs. I can run crew, utility, or supply boats. And I also can run power or sailing yachts, and I am experienced in the operations and the etiquette of and the management of these bigger, you know, corporate yachts. Some people specialize in fishing, so this is a whole different thing. Some yachts are fishing yachts, which I am can fish a little, but I'm not super proficient at fishing. So someone that wants to fish, you'd find a yacht or a sport fisherman or a party boat that specializes in this. And you know, on top of your licenses and your seamanship, you also have to know what that niche is and have the skills. And yachting, for example, people skills or interpersonal skills are very important. And you can't be, you know, recluse or a hermit. You've got to be able to socialize, and you have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to bring a pleasant atmosphere, you know, to the guests and to the people that you're entertaining, whether they're people from the company, distributors, or VIPs that they're entertaining, or if they're charter clients, which some cases the boats are chartered out. You know, out here you're not dealing with you're dealing with people, but on a much different plane. So the language is different, and the expectations are different, and the whole culture out here is much different. You have to deal with, of course, the people on the rig. You have to deal with the people that are loading the ships and where you're docking. You have to deal with your company. So you've got to be able to communicate with these folks in their own language and to their expectations. Yachting, for example, is a lot more formal, if you would, in your dress and in your language and in your contracts, whatever's going on. Here, getting the job done is what's important, and there's not a whole lot of PR to be done, although, you know, being friendly to some degree can help everything along and help the morale, that sort of thing. But it's two different worlds. So I have tried to round personally my skills out that I could run any size vessel within my range or my license, any type of vessel. And this is what I've set out to do since I was a young man, to round out my skills and abilities to be able to go after, you know, the best jobs and the best pay, this sort of thing. Home ports for the company, some are in Morgan City, some are in different towns in Texas. Well, many people, you know, who are working as full-time will work 2 weeks on or 14 days on and 7 days off. Sometimes you can work 14 days on and 14 days off. But for me, you know, when I was going to school, I would come out here 4 months out of the year straight. I worked 3 months in the summer and then the month during the Christmas break. So I'd have 4 months out of the year, and the rest of the time I would go to college. So this gave me, you know, 4 months of work a year, and being able to save the money, you know, while you're working out here. I've always chose when I come out here to work for longer periods of time, you know, a couple of months or 3 months at a time, and then you get off or whatever, and then you come back. But it all depends on what the personnel program is too. You know, you have, it's not always, you're not always able to choose when you can work and when you can't. They have to have you on call and come out when they need you. And this is part of the program for a lot of these companies. But you can find, for example, a schedule if you wanted to work opposite another captain or a crew member in your capacity or your job. You could work off and on. If it balanced out, then you could try to find the right boat and crew that you like to work with, and they try to accommodate you if they can. Because I'm not here year-round, you know, I come and go. They use me as a relief captain or relief mate on these different boats, and plus I can run different types of boats. So this is okay with me because you're not in one place all the time and not with one boat or crew all the time, and it's kind of a change in scenery. So I don't mind working as a relief person, but sometimes you might want to find a crew or boat that you want to stay with, and usually the personnel manager will try to work with you on that. Some companies will hire you know, your wife, and there's captain and wife teams that work out here, and the wife will actually work toward her license, and when she gets her license, then you have two captain in the family and the two captains' incomes coming in, which is a pretty good deal and not a bad way to go if you're going to save money or buy a house or this type of thing.